Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Project Ozone 3 Kappa mode. So since last episode, it's been a little bit of time. I've been working on, let's see, I started working on this roof and building this up because it's been sitting here unfinished, but then I got sidetracked. I'm working on it. I'm getting there because we're actually, in one of the upcoming episodes, before too long, we're actually going to be working on this floor a little bit, and probably doing a little bit of stuff down here. So I'd like to get this building finished out here soon. I've also been working over here a little bit, and if you recall a bit back, I had set up 32 factorizers in the crafting table, and I had them sitting there, and I said, we're going to use those soon. I went ahead and set them up. Now, I haven't got all this plugged up. We're going to be doing a little bit of plug-up work in an upcoming episode. But I did go ahead and set up the factorizers. So they're just set to output out the bottom, and then I have various different blocks that are crafted through factorizers. I'm actually short factorizers over here, and I'm going to need a couple more as well for the rest of the landcraft metals. And then I'm going to need some more in this room, which is going to house like alloys and things like that. So if you couldn't guess, this is going to be basically a big crafting based or storage based area that I'm working on over here. So but anyways, we've got different blocks, and we also have various metals and gems slotted on this wall, and then I've got some metals here also, but I'm not going to get too much into it. But basically, we're going to start sending the bulk of the stuff from this building over to that building, and we're going to have kind of a priority system. We're only going to keep, now that we've got our storage building coming together, this won't have void upgrades or storage upgrades. We'll just keep 32 or 64 stacks of, no, 32 stacks. 32 stacks of various things in here, basically just for easy access for us. So, and I do have XP. It's just I went to a different dimension and it bugged. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and just store all my XP at the moment, which is like one level. It's like 50 levels is like one level. So yeah, I've been working on a bit of that and just some miscellaneous stuff. One thing I do want to do is, if we pop in here, I went ahead and made a mob masher and iron spikes and all that, or iron spikes, absorption hopper, mob fan, and singularity tank. Mob masher quest is right there. Just because we're never going to use these things, but I just wanted to go ahead and open up the woot quest that we're actually doing, and we'll just go through really quick and turn these in. There is a quest here, but we need the ender casing, the nether casing, the 3 and 4 caps, and then over here we need the advanced power cell and the premium power cell. And then there's various upgrades here, but they do require all the tiers for those. So, and I did a little bit of Lord quests, but not a whole lot. And then I think, oh, and seeds. I've done a little bit of seeds also. So you can see that's what we've got so far. Many of these are already 10-10-10s. So I've been steadily working those up. And I need to finish out this building. Oh, and I did grates on the side of here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Originally, I was thinking like windows, but I think I like these grates more so. I think from the interior than the exterior, but I think I can shape up the exterior to make the grates look pretty nice once it's all said and done. So, yeah. So, anyways, oh, and I finally put string over the sugarcane, so we're not going to have like these super massive sugar canes growing over here. So, and then our Twilight Forest portal, I think this was here at the end of last episode, but this is set up. And these are glimmer crystal lights around it. So anyways, what we're going to do today, we are going to start working on, well, we're going to start off with a little bit of lordcraft, and then we're going to switch gears for a little bit, because we've been on magic mods for a while, and I kind of want to explore a little bit, and I kind of want to do some tech, and I actually need to go to a new dimension and do some stuff like that. But anyways, if we open up the Lordcraft tab, we're going to go ahead and do this. There's 3 quests here that we have not done. I want to go ahead and just do these. Get them out of the way. But before we do that, I did mention last episode I wanted to talk about these, skills and abilities, So, as we've been doing Lord quests, we've basically gained tiers as we got new spells and stuff, right? And we unlock these new skills. Now, you can either have them, you can have them activated or deactivated. Like Vision gives the player night vision when in water. I don't need that, so I have that deactivated. But if I wanted to activate it, I can right-click to activate. And then you could see give the player Aqua Affinity at all times. I've got that activated. Food regenerates when the player is in water or rain. I really don't need that. I had that activated, but I've got saturation 2 now. So, respiration, oxygen regenerates when in water, slowing down drowning. So that's cool. Ice balls, thrown snowballs now deal damage. And then there's Frost Strike. Frostbite is applied to targets when you attack them in melee. I actually really want that one. Now these right here are based on, like, you can see that we need level 5 in ice. And then down here it's steam. That's based off what we chose here. When I chose these, I didn't really realize that until actually going into a test world and playing around with the mod. So these, I'm not crazy about some of the options that I chose, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Healing, health regenerates when in water or rain. Water Force, player does bonus damage when attacking from in water. I actually kind of liked having the Frost Strike. I haven't unlocked it yet, but I do prefer having that. And then down here we have, like, gives the player haste when they're crouched. That's why I randomly get haste a lot of times, is whenever I crouch. Hold fast, give the player resistance when crouch. Repulse releases a shockwave that damages nearby mobs when taking falling damage. I don't take falling damage, so I don't have that one on. Reach extends the player's reach distance. That's pretty nice. Now here, there's magnetic. Nearby items teleport to the player when they crouch, and held items repair slowly over time. That's actually pretty nice. But I think most everything that we have is embers based at this point. It would be good, I think, for something like, even like infusion crystals or bibliocraft enchantment things. I can't think of what they're called, but something like that it would be pretty useful for. But honestly, none of our stuff that we hold really needs repairing. So, but I have overgrown. Nearby plants are randomly bone mealed. Kind of nice. And Nature Strike, poison is applied to targets when you attack them in melee. Which is kind of nice because I'm going to be dealing like frost damage, fire damage, poison damage, all this extra damage when I attack in melee once I get the rest of these levels. Now over here to air, we have Step Assist. Melee combatant player's punch does 4 times the normal damage. I do not have that activated because I don't really punch. But let's go ahead and activate that actually. Gale Force, player's knockback is increased by a large amount, and it is. It sends them flying. At this point, Flurry, player's attack rate is increased by a small amount. It's actually pretty noticeable. And then I think for air, we took Self. So if we open this up, let's see. Well, we'll look at this other first. Other is blocking with a shield will repulse nearby mobs. I'm not a big shield person. And then Vortex, blocking with a shield will lift nearby mobs into the air. So this is an example of, I think... No, actually I don't think either of these are great. Player receives a constant speed and jump boost too. I guess the speed is kind of nice. And then we have Long Fall, player no longer takes fall damage. I don't take fall damage, so... but I guess the speed from agility is kind of nice. I'm not crazy about the last 2 on air in either case. And then over here we have Flame Immunity. We have immunity to all fire damage. Ignite targets you strike, which is another passive effect of Embers. But I have noticed it seems like this ignites, but then Embers does like the extra fire damage. So I don't know. They kind of work out because Embers doesn't always ignite or whatever. I don't know. It seems like I just burn everything. Heated Sustenance, heal when in lava. Auto Smelt blocks Minder automatically smelted. I'm not running that at the moment for obvious reasons. Then we have Hellfire Strike. Flaming Strike now applies the Hellfire effect. Fire won't go out until the effect is over. This is, of course, from the Hellfire section, which I didn't choose. And then Flaming Retaliation ignites targets who strike you, which they already, with Flame Barrier, they already get ignited. Igneous agility increases mobility after being set aflame. And fiery spirit, heal when aflame. So if I catch on fire or I jump in lava, I'm healing, right? And then these down here are your primal abilities. And you can basically choose one of these to have activated at a time. So there's Flame Breath. You breathe continuous damaging flames onto an area around the player while active. Hurricane launches enemies around the player away and up into the sky while dealing a small amount of upfront damage continuously while active. Quarry digs out an amount of earth in front of the player when activated, a 3x3x3. And then there is Soul Shield, which is the one that I'm actually running. Protects the player from all damage while active. And what you can do is you can go in here to your controls, and if we scroll down, we find lordcraft. I've got it set to I couldn't remember. I said it, but I haven't really been in a whole lot of combat. So if I hit O, you can see it starts draining that bar over there on the left. And basically it will slowly refill. But let's go ahead. The next thing that I want, well, let me wait. We'll talk about that here in a second. We're going to start using our Void Crystal here in a minute. But let's go ahead and grab our advanced Arcane Forge. And I love the magnetic effect on the Clockwork Pickaxe. It's wonderful. It's so much better than magnetism. I hate, like constant magnetism, like from the ability bottles, drives me insane. That's why I didn't take it. And honestly, having a magnet, I'm not crazy about. But the nice thing about the Clockwork Pickaxe is I can still throw things on the ground and they're not going to suck over to me. But anything that I break with my pick automatically goes into my inventory, which is wonderful. So good. And I just recently put heat on these. They would have been probably leveled at this point, but you can see we've got level 4 on most things, except our boots, which I did change our boots to blasting, and our hammer is also blasting, which I almost lagged myself out earlier because the blasting on my boots and the blasting on my hammer, like stuff was just exploding like crazy, doing like massive damage and killing everything in an area in the hunting dimension. I was just playing around with it, and but it was causing so many explosions. It was wild. Okay, so I want to upgrade this to the Void Forge, which is going to require 8 pure crystals. Now I do have these crafted up, so let's go ahead, shunk, and shunk, and there we go. There is our Void Forge. And, well, that's complete. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and turn that in. And now we have a Void Forge that can actually run off of, or a forge that can run off of our Void Crystal mana. Now, I really don't want to use all of it. I've got 480 at the moment, but the problem with taking all of it is that's what powers our spell focus. If I take, for example, if I take all of it out of myself, and then I go and try to cast spells, you can see nothing is happening. That's because I actually need some of this void power in order to cast spells. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it. We're going to say 200 in the Void Crystal, and then I'll keep the 280 on me, I think. That way, I've got a few casts of this, which it regens so fast that it really doesn't matter too much. So we'll go ahead and drop that into there, and now we don't have to use the Void interface anymore for crafting. So for example, if I grab this, boom, and you'll notice it's quite a bit faster too, which is quite wonderful. So if you recall, I mentioned that's what we're going to be using for automating. That's why, because now we don't have to pump stuff into the Void interface. This is super, super nice to have. And that's really, I mean, I don't guess I need the Void Forge for anything at the moment. I don't believe so. No, not specifically at the moment, I don't guess. And then the Spacious Crystal, what do we need to make this? Oh, that's where we need the Empowered Void. I don't have that at the moment. And I don't believe... No, I'm going to have to get into the Empowered. That's going to be a tech push. So we're not going to be able to finish that quest today. And then there's the runestone crafter. Now, personally, I didn't notice too much from runestones that I actually wanted. We're going to spend a little bit of time messing with those and staves. Probably not this episode, I don't think, but in an upcoming episode, we will. There's something else. I kind of have my eyes set on this episode, I think. Oh, I'm out of mana infused ingots. Okay. It's not a big deal. I've got them over here. I'm just in the middle of moving things around a little bit. And I haven't locked these drawers in, so I don't want to take everything from them right this second. Because I haven't made a drawer controller for over here yet. Oh, you know what? Actually, I don't have any mana infused, but I've got this. Let me go ahead and just grab... I don't think I can break this. No, I'm going to have to use the factorizer. But we're going to be doing a big string of automation here soon. So that's kind of what I'm setting up that area for, is because we're going to start pushing into a bit of tech in the coming episodes. So, but you'll notice it's a whole lot easier to craft. I mean, from what I could tell, I mean, you could pretty much, just with a little bit of mana in this, you can pretty much craft indefinitely. I don't suggest you put all your mana into it because there's not much point in doing so, in my opinion. I don't need all that, but that's fine. Let's just grab our staff creator. I'll make another one of these, just an arcane workbench. Yeah, I can make another one of these. But anyways, there's our runestone crafter. And we're going to set this up right there. Eventually, we're actually going to have a few void forges down through here and some other little odds and ends. But anyways, there's that. But I want to play around a little bit more with the runestones. I played around with some of them, but I felt like the staves were just better. But I may have been missing something. Some of these runes aren't too bad. And they do have some different effects, but I think the thing that stood out to me the most is like the damage staves. There is a couple other, there's one that works kind of like Staff of Traveling, and there's one that works kind of like the Flight Sigil from Blood Magic. There's a couple that dig and things like that, but the staves, though, the damaging ones, I noticed they were excessively powerful. Like, you think our spells are powerful. This was like one-shotting everything I shot at it. So, we're probably going to make ourselves a damaging staff before too long. But, just for fun. I don't know where their damage caps out at, but I did notice it didn't do a whole lot of damage to, like, the Wither. But to mobs, it just wrecked them. So, but we'll be getting into that before too long. But that means that we've pretty much completed this tab, except for the Spacious Crystal. So once we start into tech, I mean, it's actually a really cheap recipe, but I need this, which I do not have. The Empower is actually one of the early things that this pack leads you to. Like, it's in beta, but we just never really dove into tech outside of Magneticraft yet. Unless you count Embers, which is more Magitech than anything. So... Alright, but we got that. So what I want to do next, we will be coming back to Lordcraft in like 2 episodes, I think. But I want to switch over for right now, because we've been on Magic for a bit. And the first thing I want to do, the first couple things I want to do is kind of just getting things out of the way more than anything. Working towards a little bit of completion. If we pop over to Lambda. I want to go ahead and do a couple things here. First up, the Simple Void Dimension. It's crafted just like this. I just want to knock this out and get it out of the way. I don't have any interest. We're already in a Void Dimension, and I don't see much value in it. But I'm also, like, if I'd built anywhere in this pack outside of the starting dimension, I kind of wish I'd just built in the Erebus. To be perfectly honest. I kind of wish I'd just pushed onto the Erebus, like, right off the gate, and we could have built an Erebus base. That would have been a lot of fun. But instead, I built here. And I think I've come too far. So, mistakes were made, but that's okay. That's all right. Go ahead and grab that. And let's just make our portal to the void. There we go. And we get 10 racks. Basically just free racks. I will pop into the dimension just to show you, but I don't really have... just right click to enter it. But this is where we're at. So, yeah. That's it. That's all there is to it. So I'm going to pop back through. I don't really care to have this setting around. I guess later on maybe we could use it for something that's like laggy. Oh, that actually just broke it. I guess I with my harvest level or some junk. I don't know. But that's fine. They're cheap to make. So, and then there's the Lost Cities dimension. This dimension is actually not very exciting. We covered it in lordcraft, I think. There's something with this pack about exiting dimensions. I'm probably going to have to exit and re-enter because it's probably lagging everybody else out at the moment. And yeah, 1 second. It's something about dimensions in this pack. Okay, back in, and our portal to the void is back. Because, yeah, I was just like lagged out. Yeah, we got it back. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm just going to throw that in the miscellaneous junk area. And then if we turn our attention over to Lost Cities, we'll go ahead and just knock this quest out, just to get it out of the way. It's another one of those quests that, I don't know, unless there's like some kind of custom content in the Lost Cities, we probably won't do a ton in there. And that's just simply due to the fact that, I know one of these is like empty. Oh, it's cobalt. Cobalt and ardite are empty. There's that. But Lost Cities, I covered it a bit. Oh, that completes the quest. We'll pop in there. I'll show you it. Just for, you know, if you've never played around with it, so you can see inside of it. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. We spent a little bit of time on lordcraft, maybe. But yeah, it's just one of those mods. There's not, unless there's like custom content, there's just not much there to do except just run around and kill mobs, in all honesty. So let me just, I don't even know. We'll just put it here for now, and then set this off to the side. Because I don't know if we'll actually keep this up. I might set up a more permanent place for it, actually. And that's just in the event that maybe there's something that we need from it. So we're just going to surround this with skulls. And we're going to hop in the bed. And there we go. Now, whenever you spawn in here, you either need to bring stuff with you to get back, or we have /home, or any kind of warp home works. I want to say in lordcraft we had to, it actually took me a little bit because I didn't bring any scrolls of warping, and then I made a couple and like they didn't work, and it took me a little while to get out of here on there, but I was trapped for a little bit. But Lost Cities, the whole premise is kind of cool, I guess, but it's basically just a big ruined city that's around here. And if you pop inside of it, like these buildings, basically each building is kind of like its own individual instance. And you have to kill mobs. Like if I go to, or I can break stuff, I can't, I think it's I can't loot stuff, if I recall. So if I find a chest, there's chests like scattered around throughout these floors, and if you try to loot them, you won't be able to unless you kill enough of the mobs. Well, actually, it'll let me on here. So there's really no reason to even, I guess, kill the mobs. But the problem is, you'll notice, like, usually, and this is true even in, like, single player, it doesn't have anything to do with being on a server, really. Usually the issue with this dimension is you end up running around a lot, trying to find something to kill, but never really finding anything to kill, if you know what I mean. Like, I'll just end up running around that building for probably 30 minutes to kill enough mobs that it'll say that it's cleared, and then rinse and repeat, more or less. And without, like, custom loot, which it doesn't even seem like anything's spawning in these chests. Let me try to find a chest that's visible from the outside real quick. Oh, there's a chance cube. We'll do that real quick. And we got a witch. Get wrecked. Alright. Looking to see if she dropped a spirit. Or a soul, I mean. Not really seeing a lot of chests. And it may actually be set up to where you have to clear the rooms before you get the chest. But I don't know. Like, the loot in these is just never tweaked to the point that it's worth it. In my experience. So, it ends up just being a huge time sink. But it's here if you're interested. If you recall, if you watched lordcraft, we spent a little bit of time in here. Easy place to get brewing stands and things. Enchantment tables also spawn here. And it could be useful if we find ourselves needing like an overworld. Oh, here's a chest. Yeah, there's nothing in here at the moment. But if you recall, when we did it on lordcraft, man, it loads horribly for some reason. Like, it's like Twilight Forest level loading here. In lordcraft, we used carry on and just picked up the chests and carried them out. So it may have been changed for that purpose because it was easily exploited. It may have been changed to where you have to clear out the bases or the buildings before the treasure spawns or something. I don't know. But as you could tell, I mean, I'm just running through pretty much empty buildings most of the time. And yeah, and that's pretty much the case. You're like looking for things to kill the things so that the place doesn't spawn monsters anymore. But yeah. So anyways, that's the dimension. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time here. Because, I don't know. Unless there's something, I'm not sure why it was added into the pack. Unless there's something special that spawns there or something. And then there is the Deep Dark. And there's also the Gas Queen. Which we talked about a little bit, and we've done her in the past a few times. I'm not sure what it takes to make Potion of Sorrow on here. Raw gas meat. Okay, I'm just going to have to kill some gas, and then we can do that one at some point. It's going to be a pretty easy boss fight with Flying and Blazing Ray, but what I want actually is the Deep Dark Portal. Oh, gosh. I didn't look at this beforehand, so we're going to need a soul binder. We're going to need Corellium pearls. That's actually not too bad. I've probably got the Corellium for that. That's very doable. Manual and nuggets are doable. But the quadruple and quintuple compressed cobble is the big kicker at the moment. If we take a look at our cobblestone generators, we could, I'm sure, pull these off, though, now and make like a really fast one. So let's do that real quick. Let me get a cobblestone generator, throw them together, and we're going to actually tier it up to max tier. Wasn't there a quest, or did we already do the quest for max tier? Alpha. No, we stopped at tier 2. We've never actually done a max tier. So yeah, let's do that real quick. We do need to get a cobble compression system up and going anyways. At least started. I mean, eventually I'm going to add a few max tier cobblestone generators. We are going to be working on a proper cobble works here very, very soon. That's part of our tech push. Oh, it's glass and not glass panes. Okay, so there's that. And then I am going to need to get some, for this tier, I'm going to need lava wood going, which is just lava poured over wood. And I'm going to need 2 buckets worth of lava. Go ahead and get that pouring out. Oh, and one thing we did have to do, because fluid cows are horribly laggy, they're just bad. We did fully disable fluid cow spawns. So I do still have some in a soul vial, but I'm not going to be using those for anything. I mean, I wasn't planning on using them long term, but We're not going to be using them at all moving forward, I don't think. Just because they're disabled, and it's actually one of those mods that I can't stand, but we covered it, showed you how it worked already, and I don't plan on doing anything else with them. Okay, so Tier 2 generator, Tier 3 generator, and that should, yeah, there we go. Tier 4 generator, there we go, and Tier 5 generator, which produces 1 cobblestone block every tick. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and turn these quests in. We need to go kill the Ender Dragon before too long also, I suppose. Okay, we're at 50 racks. Well, a stack and 50. Okay, so our cobble work storage area. I think what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to get a compacting drawer for starters. Actually, 2... 3, maybe? So I'm going to need infinity dust block. That's easy at this point. And then I'm just going to need aluminum plates, pistons, and yada yada. So let me get... well, let me go ahead and just do it proper. Let's go ahead and get 4 compacting drawers real quick. Okay, so there's our... Oh, it's got some drawers from something else, I guess. There's our 4 compacting drawers. And I'll grab some of our conduits, and we'll set this up. That's going to be base metals, alloys, and then we'll do cobbleworks over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set, let's see, let's just pull this up. And I think what eventually I'll have is maybe like 3 cobblestone tier 5s, and then we'll see from there. And we'll just set that up right there. That's going to start producing cobblestone for us. Now, there is faster ways to make cobblestone, but I think this might be plenty, but we'll see. Since it's running on a server, I'll just have to chunk load this area, and then we should be good. And then what I'm going to do is, let me set up another drawer. Oh, I think I know how I'm going to do it. Let me... set that there. Put a conduit here. That. And then I can do a cobblestone generator here and here, and then conduits pumping it up and over. Or maybe do one of the better cobblestone systems for pumping in from the sides. I don't know. We'll see. So anyways, what we're going to do is I'm going to take this, and we're going to slot it in right here. So this is going to make double, triple, quadruple compressed. We're going to say that you can insert on the green channel, and you can extract out on brown. You can insert on brown, and you can extract out on blue. And yeah, let me go ahead and tell it to insert. And then you can insert on blue, no extract. And then you can extract on green, always active. It's going to start pumping over that double compressed cobblestone from this one over into here. And it is going to take it just a second before I get my first quadruple compressed. And let's see, the portal that we need to make, actually it'd be quicker just to pull it up in here maybe. We need quintuple and quadruple compressed cobblestones. 4 of each, looks like. Okay, well, I'll let that start building up. Okay, and while that's running, while that's building up a little bit, let's go ahead, and we also needed a warp stone. So we're going to need some manual nuggets. We're going to need unstable ender pearls, which do take corellium pearls, and we're going to need to make this right here, corellium infused stone. And I've got, well, I got 1 cluster there, but I've got some corellium gems over here. A second for this. Oh, I'm not going to have enough. Since that's the case, do we want to... I feel like we're just going down the rabbit hole right now. Do we want to go ahead and start into a little bit of abyssal craft? Which just takes dull crystals? I love abyssal craft. Maybe so. Because if we go to the first dimension, we would be pretty much set. I swear, it feels like every time I go to do something on here, it's like, I just wanted to pop to the beneath because I want that for some of the tech that we're going to be working towards, basically. And then I end up going down this long rabbit hole and I'm still in magic mods. Like I can't escape them. Okay, so the Necronomicon. There's that. And we get 5 racks. And it looks like we've already completed a few quests. We have Abyssal Knight, so yay. We have Shadow Fragments, Gem Shards, and Shadow Gems. And we have Corellium Gems as well. Okay. And then they want us to get a Corellium Pearl, which we're about to get. We also have 2 stacks of racks now. So what I want to do is I want to pop over to rewards and I want to get well, actually, I was originally thinking about the regen totem, but I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for 3 stacks. In fact. I do believe. Now we're going to pop a bunch of quests. Let me go ahead and keep one of these slotted, actually. Okay, so there's our Corellium Infused Stone. And I know I'll get a bunch of comments about it again. Every time I use a furnace that's not those furnaces for doing ores, you can, I'm sure, get double output on that if you smelt it in that furnace. But, oh, it actually works in the redstone furnace too. Oh, because I have flux anodizers in this. That's right. So, yeah, there we go. Let's complete Corellium Pearls. And so, technically, I could actually make the Warp Stone then without having to go to that dimension. Oh, what do we want to do? Because, I mean, this is going to be a long process because we're going to have to get into Shoggoths and stuff. So, maybe I'll wait. Because I can make the warp stone with what I've got since I do have the flux anodizers. Probably should just, if I hadn't have had them, I probably should have just crafted them. But we do have that in our redstone furnace. So. But of course there is an upgrade for this thing, this Uber God Mode furnace that allows you to get the double outputs. I'm not running that. Well, that was a big lag spike. I'm not running that because I'd rather actually use other furnaces in the game than just one furnace. I guess I find that to be a little bit boring to me. Okay, but there's our 8 pearls. And we don't need many of these to actually get to the first dimension. So, manual and nugget, that's not a problem. The wither dust, stable ender pearl, those are all pretty easy. So let me go ahead and get our 4 stable ender pearls. Okay, I'm going to need some wither skulls actually. I don't have enough wither dust at the moment. So there is our unstable ender pearls. And then we just need the manual nuggets and then the ender crystal. Oh man, never mind. Never mind. Just look at the vibrant crystal and it's like, hey, you need empowered emerald. Alright, so well, scratch that. We're going to have to push into tech before I can go into the beneath, which I wanted to do tech. But luckily, I mean, it's actually not really far into tech. Alright, well, in that case, I went ahead and accepted this quest. This just says, go look at rituals, which I know how to do rituals. So, I guess we need to work on these too here soon, but I guess we could swap over to beta. Oh, and I gotta make all these things. Okay, well, I'm just gonna do those for the quest. I'm not a big dank null person. I don't like them, so I'm not really gonna be using them. But atomic reconstructor, we're gonna need iron casings. I've got black quartz. That's not a problem. This is actually gonna be really easy pushing into actually additions. A little bit of black quartz, but I do have some black quartz ore as well. So there is our atomic reconstructor. And let me go ahead and get... let me just get a button real quick. Because I'm going to want that. And we'll just add this to our little, like, temporary machine setup thing going on over here, I suppose. We'll set it up. All these machines are getting out of control. We'll just put our button right there. And I'm going to need a redstone torch also. So right now it's set to redstone is deactivation. We're going to set it to pulse, I think, for right now. And then, well, I guess that works. It's getting power built up in here. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and turn that quest in. And then the next quest is this right here. They want us to get Rostonia, Pallis, Diamantine, Void, Emeradic, and Enori. Which technically getting into the Empower is going to be kind of nice because there's a lot of things that have been gated by this. But I do want to get this automated very, very soon. Because I know it's used for a lot in this pack. Namely, capacitors. From Ender.io, we're going to need it for that. I think what I'm going to do is... Can I, out of curiosity, can I just... I can't just downcraft these without doing the factorizer. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and just do, I'm going to do blocks for all this stuff. Because we're going to need it. So we'll grab an emerald, diamond, lapis, coal, and then I'm going to need iron and redstone. Redstone, of course, being a little bit trickier, but not too bad for us. Though really, no, I tell you what, unless it requires red alloy, which it doesn't, it's actually a waste, I guess, to do that, because just a whole other crafting step. Alright, so let's go ahead and just toss down this stuff. And I think it actually works on AoE, doesn't it? No. Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. So I can do those two at the same time. And our coal, our iron. Did that? Yeah, that made a nori. Okay. And then let me go ahead and just do like a half stack of Rostonia. Tend to use that one a lot, so. There we go. And then let me just break these down. I feel like I need to restart my computer here in a minute. And quest complete. I gotta go dump off my inventory also. And then the Empower, we're gonna need double batteries and that junk. Advanced coils, basic coil, alright. And then display stands, are they default? Because it seems like about everything in this mod right now is default. Yeah, they're pretty much default. Okay, I've got some black quartz in here. I need to get this processed. I've got 3. I don't even know where I mined this from, to be honest. I mined it in, I guess, maybe Landia? I don't know, because I didn't, I had it before then. I don't know where I got this, but... Actually, it was probably that Actual Editions building in the hunting dimension, I assume. Okay, I went ahead and restarted, and I went ahead and popped into the nether and just kind of stocked us up on some quartz also, because we were getting a little bit low. Let me go ahead. Actually, I think I could probably do that. No. There we go. I think 3 might be our limit, but... Actually, in this pack, I think we'll probably need to automate making this quartz, because we're going to need quite a bit of... I think it's chiseled quartz. We're going to need quite a bit of these Empower setups, to be honest, in this pack. Okay, so there's that, and then we just need the advanced coils. I'm going to need a few of these. So, let's see. I'm going to need 5 for the display stands. I'm going to go ahead. Whoops, I need Restonia. Go ahead and get 5 basic coils there. Like that for our 5 display stands. I'm still getting a little bit of lag. I don't know. Okay, so our single battery. There's that. And then our double battery. I'm going to need some more Inori. That's fine. I'm just going to go convert all this iron, all this redstone that's on me at the moment. There's our double battery. There's our empower. Bum bum bum. Quest complete. Okay. And then we have to get empowered, all the different empowered materials. I'm not going to make all of them right now. But what we need is the empowered emeritic. And so for this, I'm going to do it in block form. It's just better to do it that way. And we're going to need fluorite. We're going to need thorn vines. We're going to need vines, and we're going to need beryllium. Okay. Alright, so in that case, I'm going to have to do a little something. Let's see, let's actually set this to combine. Let's go ahead and run our emeritic crystal. And I'm going to set up our empower just right over here. For now. I know this is like terrible. And let's just put our electric connectors in. Grab that. There we go. So it's going to start sending some power over to these display stands. Then let's say to get this, we'll go ahead and throw that in there. And then I'm going to have to get vines. Alright, so what we're going to do, let's just break this. And I'm going to use Vein Miner on it. Okay, there's 17. And these are pretty easy to automate, so I'll probably automate them a little bit later on. Then let me just go ahead and warp on home. Okay, and then we need vines. We need the tube dust. Now over here, let's go ahead and pop into this dimension. We should probably be able to find vines. I think I can make them with nature essence. So if worst comes to worst, yeah, right here. Usually they're everywhere in this dimension. So okay, so there's a bit of that. And then what I want to do is, let's see, if I fly around for a second, can I find, that looks like a mine shaft. X-ray, X-ray. Oh, there's a waystone here. I'll take it. This dimension is like insanely laggy. Honestly, I wonder if it wouldn't be better to do this in Landia. Maybe. Well, we're going to go ahead and just... Oh, this is the... There's like a subway type tunnel that runs through this dimension. That's what that is. Okay, let me go ahead and just start breaking lots of coal ore. And I'm looking for beryllium. I'm also going to hold on to the sulfur that we find. I don't want the coal that we find. Even though I think this sulfur is interchangeable with the other. What did we find here? Garbage! Garbage, garbage, lots of garbage. Okay, I ended up just popping into the, I'm sure I lost that, but I ended up just popping into the nether, in fact, and just going around and gathering up a bit of, nether lapis. Because I think this might be a little bit easier. I wasn't having any luck finding lapis, so... Did get a level on my pickaxe, though. So, there's that. But we'll go ahead and get this smelted up real quick. Let's see, that we can just smelt. Okay. And then we need the vines. And the thorn vines. There's that. And we'll toss in... oh, it can't smelt that because of the flux anodizers. Alright. And let's see. Okay, yeah, we got a lot of fluorite. And all this lapis is just going to get wasted. Okay, we're good on fluorite. And there's our beryllium. And let's go get this crafted up real quick. So there we go. There's our empowered emeritic. Okay, and we're going to have to break this down in the factorizer. Boom. Okay, so we've got that now. And now all we need is, if we go back to the Deep Dark Portal, we need the manual and nuggets. Those aren't a problem. And we are going to have to get a soul binder. And then I'm going to have to get some vibrant alloy. Electrotine, I might have vibrant alloy made up, but I'm going to say I don't think that I do. I do not, but I do have some energetics. I'll just upgrade that. Oh, it takes ardite in this pack also. I'm ready to get started into tech though, so we can start getting some of this like odd and end stuff automated. Because it's just going to make our lives a bit easier. That's going to make that. The soul binder is standard recipe. We are going to have to get the soul tune dye. You can make manual in through the induction smelter. So just a heads up on that. There's our vibrant alloy. I'm going to go ahead and get some solarium going. Okay, I think I've got everything for the Solatune dye blend. So there's that. And then we can throw that and that in the induction smelter. There's our soul machine chassis. And then, yeah, then I've got everything for the soul binder. So there's that. And I'm just going to add it to the stack. Alright, so we've got that running. And then I need two things here. I need the vibrant crystal, which I've got everything for that. So let's go ahead and just craft that out. And then let me go grab some quartz. I'm going to need some fused quartz. And let me get this smelted up. I want to get these upgraded before long. We just haven't been doing like any tech, and we've got to push it. We've got to push into tech, and just because there's so much microcrafting and all this. And I think as soon as we hit capacitors, that one's not too bad, but then here's where we start needing the empower, and then here. So it's actually not too bad. They're really easy to automate, but we are going to have to get that up and going before we can actually progress into much in the way of Ender IO. Okay, so there's our soul vial. Now what I need to do is I need to go out and I need to catch an Enderman. And we're just going to pop into here. And there's an Enderman. And let's go get this thing crafted up. That, 6 levels, there you go. This right here is like the best thing in Ender IO. Just this soul binder is just great. Okay, so there's our Ender Crystal. Then we can get our... Oh yeah, I put it up. Okay, there's our Warpstone. Okay, and so for this we're going to need 4 quadruple and 4 quintuple. Yeah, I've got enough, okay. Alright, that's been running good. And then there's our Deep Dark Portal. Huh. And we can turn that in, we get 10 racks. So yay. That was a bit of work. So, as to where we want to put this down at, I really don't know. For right now, I'm just going to put it down right here. I can move it later. And we are not going to enter that dimension this episode because it's wrapping up point. Next episode, we're going to enter that dimension. We're going to do a little bit of work there. And we're also going to do a little bit more dimension hopping, I think. Because there's one other thing I'm going to need to start tech the way that I want to start tech. So, we're going to get into that next episode. And I'm probably going to go ahead and start recording next episode because I'm ready. I'm really ready to get into tech because right now I'm kind of at a point where I need to get into tech, but tech's such a headache that I don't want to get into it because, you know, I basically got to go through those motions of getting things automated. I just don't have my building built yet for it, but that's what I'm going to be working on after next episode. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. Stay updated with when new videos come out, and I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.